Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Chantelli, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am back today with another message for you guys. Hope everyone is doing well today and enjoying their week so far. If you're new here, welcome. I do highly recommend subscribing to my channel so that way you can get daily motivation and inspiration to help you get going through life, because life can be wild and crazy sometimes and we need that sometimes. And this channel is it, so definitely subscribe. And if you are returning, thank you again so much for returning to my videos and subscribing. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this message, y'all. Excuse me, I am a little bit tired. I am actually recording this before I go to bed because I don't know, it's just laid on me heavy to do this message tonight. So you guys are probably watching this the next day of when I posted it. But when something is laid on you heavy, y'all, you just gotta go ahead and do it. Otherwise, you're gonna lose, that fire for it. And I'm gonna be like, dang, I had so much I wanted to say and now I forgot. So here I am relaying a message. So if you are watching this, God told you to click on this message for a reason. So definitely continue to keep watching because the message today is going to be called Tests and Trials. And what I mean by that is that we feel like in life sometimes that when things are not going our way, or when things are bad, or when things just seem like it is just not working out for anything, that life is unfair, or even God is picking on me, or what is it that I'm doing to deserve this, or why is it that I have to go through this, because I feel like I am such a good person. I don't do anything wrong. My life should be easy peasy. And then sometimes you get to a point where it's like you see, bad people or people who isn't exactly right, like living a best life or whatever it may be that they're doing. And you're like, man, this person is just so wicked, but they're getting all the goods. They're getting all the, praise. And it's like, what? Like, what is it that I'm doing to not, get that same kind of praise or get that same kind of, good life? Well, first off, you can't believe everything that you see because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Let's just say that. So never, ever, ever believe just from seeing, you got to actually see actions. So with that part, you never know what they're really truly going through. But that's besides the point. My point is that when you go through stuff like far as bad days, month, week, shoot, even seasons, you can't take it as a burden. You can't take it as my life is over, God hates me, or you're doing something wrong. I've learned so far throughout my journey with God that when you go through things, tests and trials, I like to call it, it's because it's either to make you better, or to humble you, or even a lesson, like something that you're learning from it. And there's been so many instances so far throughout my journey with him where I felt like something was unfair, or I felt like, man, like I've been doing everything. For example, like with my health, I've been doing everything. I changed my diet. I've been stress free. I've been, obeying the word or whatever, and my health is just still not where it should be. Like I would just get so frustrated about it. And then I'll start blaming myself, and then I'll just start just really just like, I'm over it. Like I just want to give up. Which I'm very glad I didn't, by the way. And this is why I'm telling you to not give up, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. When people say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, there really truly is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to be strong. You have to keep going. You have to have faith. You have to have faith. So with that being said, like I said, I would just get so upset about that. I'd just be like, man, God, like, why are you, not listening to me? I'll get to a point where I'm like, why are you not listening to me? Like, I feel like I'm being picked on here. What am I doing wrong? Like, why is it, I'm not healing? Why is it that, every time I'm trying to lower, the steroid at the time, it was no. Like, I would just not feel good and just, like, it was so frustrating, y'all. But over time, I realized that God was humbling me. He made me realize some things about myself. He made me realize I was still very insecure about myself. He made me realize that, there was a lot of things I needed to change far as lifestyle wise, with, health changes and stuff like that. Like, it was just a lot of things he was showing me when I was going through these tests and trials of my health, of being told no, of not him, of him not, answering my prayer right away, of getting down on a steroid or finding that right medication. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. Like I mentioned on this channel, like everything happens for a reason. And with that being said, when I was going through this, I realized that all of that was for a reason. It humbled me. It humbled me far as showing me my insecurities and that I need to accept myself no matter what. It also showed me that it's not always going to be a yes when you ask from things from God. And with that being said, when it's not always a yes, it's because he's either protecting you or because it's not a yes yet. Like he's making you wait because he has something better for you, better than what you asked for, I realize. So with that being said, when I learned that, realizing that, I'm like, oh, like he started just revealing things to me, like, back to back. And I'm like, so that's why you made me wait. And okay, so that's why I was not able to lower it at this time, because I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I wouldn't have been able to appreciate it because I still would have been, A, B, and Z about this, that, So he had to really, just show me some things, because if I wouldn't have went through that, if it wouldn't have not been no, if he would have just, allowed it to happen with the quickness like I wanted it, I wouldn't have been able to get humbled. I wouldn't have been able to, learn from it. And it wouldn't have made me stronger, because it made me stronger in a sense going through that with my health last year, like being told no multiple times and, going from doctor to doctor, it made me realize that things are not always going to turn out like we wanted. But that's okay, because God is still faithful. God is still going to, come through, but he's going to come through with something that's going to be better for you. He always does things for our better good because he loves us. Like I said, I've mentioned on this channel that his love is deeper than what we can imagine. And, when he says no, or when he says not yet, it's because he's protecting us. It's because he has something great planned for you out of that pain, out of that struggle, out of that, season of hurt or of multiple no's, because you could get multiple no's sometimes. I'm telling you, like I said, I was experiencing, I'm like, why is it still no? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't get it. But eventually he humbled me and I was like, okay, I get it. I started to just accept it, still love him, still kept going, did not give up my faith, and was like, you know what, God, there's a reason why this has happened. There's a reason why I'm going through this. I am not going to allow the devil, who is a liar, to tell me to give up because it ain't working out the way I wanted to. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because like I've mentioned in my couple of other videos, me waiting paid off. Eventually, I did find the right medication. Eventually, I was able to lower the dosage and be comfortable and humbled about it. And, lowering it now, I'm like, okay, it's not even a big deal to me anymore, because I am humble now. I'm not, insecure the way I was back last year of, I need to get down on so I can do this and that, and so I can look like this and that. No, I'm at a point now where I'm like, I can care less, because God loves me. That's all that matters. And honestly, it just wasn't the time. And he has something greater planned for whatever no or whatever test that I went through or whatever it was that I went through. He had a greater good out of it. He always has a greater good out of it. It's just a point of you not giving up and realizing that your testimony, that is another thing I like to call it, because it is your testimony of whatever test trial you went through. Your testimony is here to make you stronger. It is for a great will and God's purpose for you. And it really is truly going to make you better at the end of that tunnel. You will see that light, y'all. You will. Like I said, we're not always going to have a great season. We're not always going to have a great day, week. You know, some days you just be like, dang, like what is going, like everything and their mama and everything else is just hitting you back and forth. But you have to realize you are going through that for a reason. You be like, okay, you know what? Honestly, yes, this is happening. It sucks. But there is a reason behind this. There is a reason behind this. And then he gonna show you. You're gonna be like, oh, okay. And then he gonna come through with the quick blessing real quick, something real. Now you're gonna be like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm glad that did happen. Because look what I got now. It's gonna be like, I'm so glad I didn't give up on God. I'm so glad I kept the faith because God is faithful. He is very faithful. He cannot not be faithful. He's very faithful to you. He is always faithful. And just keep that in mind. Having God by your side, he will always come through. And now it may not be what you expect it to be or when you want it to be. Let me say that. But he does come through for the best for you because he loves you. So that's the message that I have for you guys today. Tests and trials. Do not give up because it gets hard sometimes. Because like I said, your girl, I wanted to give up so many times last year, and you know, even a couple of times this year where I was hit with a couple of but I was like, you know what, look at where I came from and look at where I'm at right now. There is a purpose behind every test and trial that you go through. Always remember that, but don't ever give up because you allow the devil to win, and you're not going to see that wonderful light at the end of that tunnel if you give up. You're not. You're going to be staying wherever it is that you at because you ain't gave up. And then you're going to have to start all over. And who likes to start all over? I don't think, no, that's like playing a video game where you be on level 1 and you go all the way to level 10 and then level 2 hard. This happened to me many because it happens to me so many times. I get on level 10. I'm like, dang, this level's so hard. I'm just finna give up. And then I'm going to just start all over. And then when I said start all over, I'll be like, dang, I really wish I was still at level 10 because why am I starting all over? I've been through this already. Like, I'm literally starting all over and I've already been through these levels. I should have just stayed where I was at and kept trying and kept going and not give up. So just think of it like that, y'all. But love you guys. If you sticked around, definitely subscribe, hit that like button, share this video so we can get this message out, y'all. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.